still winding, so I don't know if it's started recording. Anyway, how are you guys? Okay, here we go. Yes, yay, live. It says live. All right, we're on. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about is this month and how important this month is, and how this month of July is actually going to bring 2021 in that early. Okay, so it's like a sixth thing when things come in. So in 6, it will bring it in early. Hi, Shaman. So how does July bring 2021 in? Because July is an ox. So that ox with the goat this month, they clash. Okay, so that clash then becomes a clash brings it to you. I know I'm a bit croaky, but I'm good. Excuse me. All right. So remember, this year the Yang metal is about breeding problems. It's also about courage. It's about gathering, supplying assets, those sorts of things. You know, you're gathering assets and you're gathering your supplies, and then you're supplying assets, etc. But where does metal come from? If you think about it, metal comes from deep down in the ground. So it's actually in the darkness, okay? It's the sadness, it's the depression, and it can be courage, etc. But because there's so much water with it, there's more to the lonely side of it. And so people are already predicting we're going to have a lot more depression, a lot more this, that, and loneliness. That is exactly what the year is. On the bottom of this year is the rat. So how are we going to go into 21 from this? The rat basically is nervous system, it's fear, it knots in your abdomen, that, you know, it does that, like water turns, it does that. But water also retreats to the deepest, right? And then it purifies itself and comes back. So what are you doing now? You're all retreating into your home. We're isolating for so many weeks. The whole world's been isolating. We're not the only ones. And so, yeah, for some of you, just pull your head in, whether it is COVID or not. Just do what everybody else is doing. I know you're all going to think this is sheep mentality, but it's not. You will get in trouble, okay? So, what Yang metal is about is the large intestine, which also can knot up, and the navel. The navel is about your DNA, where you came from. So I've said that in the workshops to begin with. Now, where does that take you with the rat? With the rat, it's the ears and the bladder. So you hear all this stuff. There goes the courage and turns into fear, which is, it is fear-based agendas, what we're going through at the moment. And then the bladder, you know when you're trying to go to the toilet and you can't find a toilet and you hold on? You are holding on. But what are you holding on to? All the stuff that should already be flushed out. So not only does the water retreat and purifies itself, you're not allowing your bladder to purify. You hold on to things. So let it all go. Like I said, it's a month. July is a month of letting it all go, finishing it all off. Kaboom. Because when August comes along, it's a brand new life, if you want to put it that way. Hi Marie. So with the next year, why is it coming in this year? As I said, there's a clash, and the clash will bring it in. So for some of you, whatever next year means to you, you may already feel it. It's here already. So it's earth and metal, not like this year is metal and water. So check what earth is for you and what metal is for you. And this is the metal is still the lungs, okay, but it's also the buttocks. And the buttocks is you're sitting. In 2020, you're just sitting, okay. So then in 2021, everybody has issues, okay. I haven't researched what buttocks issues are, but I think, I don't know, someone said to me piles, grapes, those sorts of things. Anyway, and then the ox is also the belly and the spleen. Now the spleen is where every little bit of worry is going to come out. So that's what the spleen governs. It governs that, the worry that you never stop. And that's what next year is. That's what the ox is. Now the other thing is metal being the large intestine, breathing problems then affects the skin. Same, next year the lungs, breathing problems affects the skin. So what we're going to have, why is next year already here? Because how many people already have allergies and how many people already have skin conditions already because of what you're using. Now, first let me make sure that I say this, sorry Shaman, weak buttocks means lower back, correct. I've got to say this without it sounding like a male appendage. Coccyx. Got it. Yes, coccyx area. So also what ends up happening is, because next year is about the skin and it's about looking good, so you're not going to look good because of what's happened this year. So people are not putting on their makeup, etc. And like I said before, we're waiting for somebody to come up with a makeup that has sanitizer in it, where that's where the sheep will be. They will all go and get one of those. So what's happening at the moment is there are sanitizers, there are all of that. And the thing is with sanitizers, the one that is liquid, I'm telling you it's much better than the one that is more solid and creamy, because to get it that thickness and that creamy as a product, then what they are actually putting in it is plastics, and we all know plastic is a carcinogenic. So no one's shying away from that. They're not denying that, but there's Choice did a little thing that had some of those sanitizers were only 23% alcohol. So how does that get on the market even? So those at the top, you're not doing your job again. So 23%, what's that going to do? Then you've got, somebody sent me about Lorna Jane, and she's claimed, the claim was, she's in trouble. So the claim was that there was a material that was used in a new brand, etc., and it gets rid of COVID-19, or it has something that gets rid of COVID-19. So you can see how those at the top are going to get in trouble for whatever every month brings. And that's why what I'm saying to all of you, check your hand sanitizer. And if you must have something, when I go to my osteo and acupuncturist, I take my own and spray my hands, etc. And I know how high mine is as a sanitizer. And then others will use what's there, and it has a perfume. So I actually sneeze. And of course, you know what happens if you cough or sneeze. It's the end of the world. Yeah. But the girls know why, because it has a smell in it. So yes, I'm one of those people. There's an actual name for them. Chronic chemical syndrome. Okay. It's like if I went if I went up a lift, an escalator, and someone before me was wearing a toxic smell, which you call perfumes and deodorants, then it sets me off. I start rubbing my eyes, itching, all of that, etc. So you've got to look at, then again, it's the skin next year, looking good or not. And so what are you using? You're using something else again with perfume. So that's what sets off the allergy even more. Okay, so you've got your sanitizer doing that, and then your whatever, what do we call it, moisturizer, whatever else you use. And so somebody said to me, well, what do you use if everything has the sodium and the potassium in it? And the sodium and the potassium has to be put in because for them to uh, for it to be, it's got to be preservative based to keep it for so long, okay? And then that's what happens. So the sodium and the potassium has the properties to actually stop bacteria and fungi. So it's a TGA thing that has to be complied with, okay? But they don't care that you then have to go and get cortisone to put on your skin because an allergy has started. They don't care that you have to, once that chronic chemical syndrome starts, you have to put cortisone to stop it. So yeah, somebody said to me, you need to tell people all of that. I said, I don't really need to. Maybe I'll put it when, yeah. So enough people have asked me because, you know, when I come up here and then do a live, it's because it's happened in threes. So this is how it happened in three. I was at the radio station last Monday, and one of the ladies walks in and she tells me about her hands, and I said, it's your sanitizer and it's your moisturizer. Get one if you have to. Pure alcohol. The thicker it is, the more it has in it. And get your moisturizer. And then she said, what do you use? And I told her, I said, there's a thing, it's plant-based. It has nothing at all. And I've been using it, how old is my Erin? Not quite 20 years, okay? So, yeah, I've been using it that long. It's called Veggie Sorbet. I don't normally promote anything, but because I swear by this, like my Lancino, I swear by this as well, and this is what it actually looks like. So I said to her, go and get this. Okay, so it's in most health food shops. Tell your chemist to get it. Don't bother ringing them up, the web page, etc. They don't sell it on the page. It's actually cheaper for you to get it from wherever you can get it. So it's called Veggie Sorb. Okay, now everything on that is plant, let me just show you, is plant derived. Everything. Okay, so there's nothing. I put this on my face. Okay, I wash my face and I'll put this on. So I don't have a face cleansing, 5-minute thing, whatever. I just wash my face and I put this on. Hands, I just put this on. That kind of thing. So next year is already here, meaning so many people already have issues, as in breathing problems, intestine, large intestine, that's your number 2s. So you already got problems with that. Sitting, you already got problems with that. And that's why the year is already here, because next year it's hard work, and it's hard work making everything look okay, and that's how it works. So that yin metal of next year is about teeth, it's about face, it's about the perfection of it, and the earth underneath it is what spreads, and what spreads is an allergy, and that's why you've got to take care of it now, not wait until January comes in, which the ox is actually coming in this month. So me saying to you, you've got to finish things off. Don't start new things, don't begin new things until at least August, because you've got to deal with what's going on, otherwise you will carry it through until next year, which is January. Okay, so Marie, so what do you use for your hand sanitizer? I actually have a product that I got from the health food shop. I was using one that a brewery made, but now I have one from the health food shop, and it's I think it's about 80% something alcohol. So it's, you'll smell it when you put it on, but it dissipates. It doesn't sit because it is alcohol. Whereas everything else you are using the smell of it, etc. And then this has no smell. This does not sit on your face, all of that. Once you put it on, you rub it in properly, it disappears. You know how other things, that's how good this is. So 2021 is already here for most of you. So you've got to finish things off before you allow that year to come again. And why is it, why are we here in Victoria copying most of it? Because Victoria is out of the whole scheme of world, as in directions. It is kind of, because if you look at, we're down here, Okay, if that looks right, yeah, as I'm reversing it. We're down here, so it's west, east, it's north and south, west, southeast. So southeast has ill health this month. And then the west, which is there, the US, etc., has destruction. So in August, we're not going to have, we may have, yeah, a few, but where does the ill health go to? To the center of every state, basically. The center of Australia, the center of Victoria, the center of Melbourne, the center of the world, that kind of thing. That's where it's going to go next. That's how you see it going from one country to another, and it's like, what the F? How did it get there? That's how. And the destruction is going to be in the northeast. And so if you look at the northeast, it's so we're here, southeast, east, it's up here somewhere. So whatever is up here worldwide on a world scale, that's where the destruction then is. Okay, so you will find also that as the months go on, it will move on to different parts of the world. So then in September, it's in the northwest. That's where the ill health is. Okay, and where the destruction happens will be in the south. Okay, and then October, where does this ill health going to? It's going to the west. So the US side of it that way is copying it big time, and the destruction is in the where's the destruction? It's in the north. Okay, so every place has a turn. You know, it's kind of like when we had swine flu. It was in one, and then suddenly there was a case in Perth, because that's where it went to next, that side, on direction wise. And that's how it goes from here to here. It is all elemental. It's explained in everything, etc. So for most of us, the minute the 7th of July came in, 2021 came in too. And what do you need to look after is your skin, buttocks, coccyx, lungs, belly, spleen, as in you mull and mull and mull and mull. You become a gunner. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, but you actually don't. So don't do that. Finish things off first this month and watch how the energy changes next month. It really is amazing. Okay, that's it. Any more questions? But do not buy anything. Check the alcohol content. Google it if you have to, because there's so much information today. Okay? Good. That's it. All right. Have a great week. So I had to talk about this because, firstly, as I said, I had someone at the station. Then a friend of ours is making their own sanitizer, and they looked up what do they need to thicken it. And it was actually acrylates cross polymer. Acrylates cross polymer. It's a plastic and it's a carcinogenic. So the earth, yes, actually represents cancers next year too. And most cancers will be, because of what the energy is, belly, spleen, lungs, buttocks, breathing organs. Okay. Hi, Sam. I'm finished, Sam. You'll have to go back and listen to it. So that's what's going to happen. It's already here this month, and it's your choice what you do with that. Okay. All right. And what's wrong with Australian made anyway? Yeah, every supermarket will eventually have an Australian made aisle, because that's what we want. Australian made and owned, not just Australian made from 90% foreign products or whatever it is. All right. So have a great week, everyone, and yeah, if I get more push for something, then I will say it, but that's how it works for me.